There is a specific kind of sadness that follows us through adulthood, a quiet sense of dislocation, as if we are somehow out of step with our own lives. Even in moments of success, we often feel like children looking for a home we can't quite remember. We manage this anxiety by staying busy. We create rigid daily agendas and commit to endless cycles of self-improvement, hoping that if we just work hard enough, we can finally close the gap between who we are and who we think we should be. This momentum is fueled by a core fear, the belief that we are in total control and therefore entirely responsible for every outcome. We carry the weight of the world on our shoulders because we believe that a single mistake could ruin everything. But if we are a part of life and life is dreaming through us, the very concept of a mistake becomes a judgment of the mind rather than a reality of our biology. Within the context of a nature that simply unfolds, it may actually be impossible for a human being to make a mistake. When we stop viewing our lives as a series of errors to be corrected, the frantic need for an agenda begins to dissolve. We realize that our efforts to fix ourselves are what keep us feeling perpetually broken. This struggle for control is mirrored in the history of the I Ching. For eons, this ancient transmission of sacred knowledge has been tampered with, its pages weathered by human agendas. The first two hexagrams contain a historical distortion. Traditionally, the masculine yang, representing evolution and becoming, was placed first. This suggests that growth and action are the primary forces of life, while the feminine yin of pure being was relegated to second place. Hexagram 2 represents the ultimate yin, the receptive primal void. This is the essence of being before the urge to become takes over. It is a state completely devoid of an agenda, where life is simply allowed to occur. Every personal agenda we hold is a symptom of our distrust in this natural flow. We use our busyness to fill a void because we have forgotten how to receive. We seek home in the outer world, yet home is the frequency of unity found only inside. Taoist philosophy offers a solution in the practice of Wu Wei, the art of not doing. It suggests that by yielding to the current of life, like water flowing toward the sea, we find our way without the exhaustion of trying. Our human biology currently limits our perception. When we feel sadness, anger, or hopelessness, our nervous system treats these states as threats to be escaped, trapping us in a cycle of resistance. To break this cycle, we practice orientation. This means instead of fighting a feeling, we allow it to infuse into our DNA. We receive the discomfort and trust it, letting it soak into us to the bone. This practice is built on a single realization: fear is safe. This acceptance acts as a biological signal. When we surrender to the present moment as perfect, it triggers the DNA to release a host of chemicals and hormones. Trust, in this sense, is the byproduct of a shift in our internal chemistry. By dropping our incessant concern for the future, we become oriented in the present. We move from the shadow of dislocation into a frequency where the body finally feels at rest. This shift changes how we interact with others. Most people try to help others from a place of their own hidden agendas, helping to fill their own void rather than responding from a place of love. When we drop the need to fix or advise, we generate a different kind of presence. We become like water, empty, yet full. By doing nothing, we become a field that facilitates change in others. This creates a centripetal torus energy fueled by trust, drawing others toward their center. They receive this trust at a cellular level. Our aura lets them know it's safe to stop fighting, feeling the presence of love without an agenda. Transformation doesn't require us to have the right answers. It only requires us to be ourselves with others, to be intuitive, to soften, and to let our own hearts flow out into the sea of creation. This path leads back to unity. In the Indian tradition of Advaita Vedanta, this isn't called oneness, but not two-ness. It is the realization that there are no longer two separate things. Spirit and form, or energy and matter, become so entangled that they can no longer be told apart. Everything is locked in a dance with itself, and the illusion of separation dissolves. Poets like Rainer Maria Rilke point to the ephemeral to explain this. He spoke of the catkins hanging from empty hazel trees, something delicate and fleeting, yet part of a cycle that is everlasting. Enlightenment is not a mystical escape from the body. It is a physical phenomenon that requires and celebrates the body. It is the recovery of our original innocence, found within the vibration of our own DNA. Our true being does not evolve because it cannot evolve. The feminine void, the yin, is already complete. Only the masculine yang carries the agenda of becoming, but both are held within the same mystery. Practically, this means you do not need to add anything to your life. There is no secret knowledge to acquire, and nothing you need to learn to get this. The only task is to learn to forgive yourself. Life is always delivering exactly what you need. Every experience is suffused with grace when you are able to hear it completely. Trust everything. Trust your disappointments, your longing, and even your boredom. When you allow your boundaries and attachments to melt into life, you find that you are never actually lost. To find home, you simply have to melt into your own life. Stop the effort, drop the agenda, and let your heart flow out into the sea. Become soft, like water.